I'm Symphony Privet. Thank you for joining us here on Featured. We hope to inspire or simply make you smile with uplifting stories across the country. Let's start off in Texas, where one of the last surviving veterans of Iwo Jima is celebrating a long and fulfilled life. Don Graves is turning 100 years old. And Kevin Reese shows us he's not just hitting a huge milestone, he is reminding us all what it means to live with purpose.
All the time. I can't get away without singing.
It doesn't take long in a conversation with Don Graves.
You want to hear God Bless America?
For an old Marine to break into song.
Through the night with a light from above.
He enlisted at 17, manned a flamethrower at the base of Mount Suribachi, is one of just 3 Iwo Jima veterans still alive.
I don't think I'm a hero. I think there's 7,000 of my buddies on Iwo Jima that are heroes. But they sacrificed.
We met at his memorabilia-filled home in Keller just a few days before his 100th birthday.
I don't feel old. I don't feel older than 50. I don't. I love life. I love people. I love to be with people. I love to entertain.
And if you love to entertain and you're almost 100,
well, you're welcome to come to the party.
It is one very memorable party.
Happy birthday.
With a cake fit for an Iwo Jima hero. And with kiss after kiss from an adoring crowd.
You can take a half dozen if you want.
I did.
He was gifted his own blend of Black Rifle coffee and his own Texas Rangers jersey.
100?
Whether he considers himself a hero or not, friends wanted to reassure him he is.
Hey, can I get paid for this?
It's really pretty cool. He's like a rock star. So if you can imagine going out and hanging out with rock stars all day long.
Oh, and if there is an audience and a microphone, yes, Don will start singing.
Through the night with the light from above.
People just love him and they want to get to spend some time with him.
Because this old Marine is thankful for the gift of time and the chance to honor his heroes again.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you.
Don is full of life, and he is definitely the life of the party. That was Kevin Reese reporting. All right, over to Indiana now, where a woman welcomes any challenge that comes her way, from swimming with sharks to climbing one of the highest mountains in the world to an unexpected cancer diagnosis. Karen Campbell takes us on her inspiring journey of strength.
Julia Schildmeyer.
And then I go in off my neighbor's boat.
Loves open water swimming.
You see tons of swimmers here on the weekends. Yeah, always with the orange buoys.
That love has taken her on quite the adventure around the world.
I've done Statue of Liberty to New Jersey. I've done Alcatraz. Just came back from doing a swim in Santorini, where I jumped off a volcano and swam back to the island.
When Julia turned 55, she decided every year she would do a birthday challenge. Her swim from Alcatraz to San Francisco was her first. One year, Julia even swam with sharks uncaged.
Kilimanjaro was a kind of a goofy suggestion from my boss. Oh, for your birthday, I bet you're climbing Kilimanjaro. I wonder what that would take.
Julia was already in the best shape of her life, having competed in races and triathlons. But there was something she didn't expect.
It was a couple days before Christmas of 2022. And it was a surprise.
She was diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 59.
I had climbed Kilimanjaro while I had cancer. I just didn't know it at the time.
And for 7 days, Julia climbed the highest freestanding mountain in the world.
So the summit, you're at 50% oxygen. It's over 19,000 feet.
When she returned, she underwent chemo, surgery, and radiation.
Last year was hard. It's overwhelming. You know, there's a lot to learn, a lot to think about when you're going through it. Luckily, I had a good support system.
Last summer, 3 months after finishing chemo and 7 weeks post-surgery, she transformed vulnerability into strength, taking on a bold challenge, defying gravity and fear.
I was still a little sore from the surgery. But it was something I really wanted to do to prove to myself that cancer isn't going to take these challenges away from me, these adventures.
wing walking on a biplane.
When you get up there and you're going that fast and you're climbing out of a cockpit, I didn't know until I did the next move if I was going to do the next move. That was by far the scariest thing that I've ever done, and I will never do it again.
Is there anything she wouldn't do?
I haven't thought of it yet. I'm sure there is something.
As she continues to celebrate life beyond cancer.
Being able to still do challenges and adventures during my healing, again, has really helped me feel that cancer doesn't have the last laugh.
Her journey shows that in the face of adversity, hope and determination can light the path of healing.
Wow, that is one brave lady. That was Karen Campbell reporting. Now, a quinceañera is a Latin American tradition for 15-year-old girls marking their transition into womanhood. It's a big celebration. Well, one Houston woman decided her cat should take part in the birthday celebration too. And as Anayeli Ruiz reports, it not only captured the internet's attention, but it also helped save a struggling animal rescue. Take a look.
It's a party that's purring its way across the internet.
Over 21 million views.
The guest of honor? She's a queen with 4 paws and lots of sass. Her name? Holly Marie Gonzalez.
What gave you the idea to throw Holly a quinceañera?
I rescued Holly when she was 6 months old, and I had her before I had children, and she's really my firstborn.
This was your full-blown quinceañera, with padrinos or sponsors for everything. A custom cat dress, and that grand entrance, unforgettable. That's her rolling into her party on a remote-control Bentley. She had a mariachi, and yes, there was even a father-daughter dance.
Celebrate my love for her,
But this celebration wasn't just about cute photos and a viral frame.
All donated to a rescue.
Holly and her humans used their moment to give back to the Almost Home Cat Haven, housing more than 100 cats, surviving purely on donations.
This is Buggy.
Dina says they were close to shutting down until Holly's big day became a blessing for dozens of rescue cats.
Hi there. Like every time I think that, okay, I don't know if I can keep doing this, some blessing will drop in. And this time it was Miranda and her family.
Now Almost Home Cat Haven is back on its paws, thanks to the generosity.
Oh, and some treats.
Of total strangers.
What would you like to tell the people that have made donations? Thank you. Bless you.
All because of one pampered cat's quinceañera and a mom who wanted to show the world how much love a rescue animal can bring.
She loved it. She really did.
From viral cat queen to real life hero, Holly proves that love, glitter, and a remote control Bentley can go a long way.
That was Anayeli Ruiz reporting. I can't say that I've seen a quince for a pet before, even a cat in a dress, but there was a lot of razzle-dazzle for that kitty. All right, moving on here, there are thousands of senior dogs in shelters, and some of them wait years to find their right homes, but one Michigan man has made it his mission to adopt as many as possible. Sophia Periconi shows us how he is giving them a comfortable place to live out their final years.
At Dirty Paws Agape Haven in southern Michigan, Tom Pappas is living out his dream.
So this was a new area we built. It's all about getting areas for dogs.
On 19 acres of land in Ottawa Lake, his family's home is also home to more than 20 senior dogs living out their glory days.
Molly spends her life outside. She'll be the first to greet you. So she's got to be 13 or 14 by now.
Pappas networks with dog shelters across the Midwest, adopting their oldest residents, giving them a place to spend their final years.
Every time they have like a senior dog that's not getting adopted, they say, do you have room?
The idea first came to him in 2017 after adopting senior Chihuahua Walter.
He is 14 maybe.
3 years later, Dirty Paws took off.
So like you have the idea like I'm going to save old dogs so they don't get euthanized and they're not abused. Well, I can do better than that. Right. But what happens is you get them and it's like, how can I make up for 12 years of them being abused?
Across his property, different lots for different dogs, grassy fields for bigger seniors to run around.
Everyone can't be out in the same area at the same time. So we built this pretty recently.
fully finished indoor spaces for them to relax.
So this is their living room.
The cabin, as Papa's calls it for his smaller oldies.
You can't help but smile at the cabin.
And in the back, a memory garden for the ones he's lost along the way.
It's like a love and a loss, but it's a victory, because if they weren't here, they'd be dead on the street, euthanized, or in some home being abused. So it's easy for us to take the loss when it's such a victory for them.
To Papa's, this isn't work.
Every dog I want to see every day, look them in the eye, you're loved, you're here.
And it's certainly not his career. Papa's is a cardiologist.
It's the same thing you'd want for your 90-year-old grandfather. Dignity, love, passing on with their friends.
While Papa's is making their lives more comfortable, his dogs are giving him a new perspective on his.
Whatever time it is, it's good time, because that's what we're going to take. Each day a gift. Each day you wake up and think, okay, I'm here.
Wow, that is so cute. That was Sophia Periconi reporting. We have more for you coming up on Featured. Here's a look at what's ahead.
One of my friend's dad just broke a tooth, part of his tooth, eating an Easter candy that I made.
Ooh, check this out. She's no chef, but you might be fooled by the food she makes. You'll see why in just a few minutes. Plus, the smell of success. How one woman turned her passion into a booming business. And a bit later, the tables turned on more than a dozen nurses in Wisconsin. We'll tell you what they all have in common. That has their coworkers saying, "Oh, baby." Welcome back. Okay, we are getting ready to tantalize your taste buds, but there's no baking, cooking, or actual food involved here. These creative counterfeits are helping an artist take a bite out of the art world. Renee Knott explains.
There is creativity throughout her house, a variety of artworks.
I love to paint, I love to create.
Some look good enough to eat, but don't.
One of my friend's dad just broke a tooth, part of his tooth, eating an Easter candy that I made.
It's not delicious.
It does make you hungry when you're making this. It's like I snack the whole time I'm making fake food.
But what Tiffany Thompson calls Fakelicious.
I have a very active imagination.
She calls herself a real girl making fake food for a real world.
I like weird things. I'm weird.
And there's everything on her table, from drinks.
That's what I made. And that looks just like their s'more.
To some unreal desserts.
I've done some really great things in my life, but nothing has gotten the attention that this fake food has gotten.
Tiffany started creating non-edible foods back in 2020.
My dad was at the VA hospital and he was a resident in Columbia.
During a tough time in her life.
We weren't allowed in to see them for about a year and a half. And so I would always bring him food every week, and I would just start sending him. The main thing, cupcakes is where I started because I thought, well, it'll just make him happy.
It became therapeutic.
This has always been my therapy. Okay. Yeah, it's a balance in my life is the art.
A therapy that's fairly inexpensive. Most of the things she uses,
spackle, resin,
she finds at the hardware store.
All the Home Depot staff are like, here comes the fake food lady.
Now she's been able to build a real business.
This is definitely a side hustle.
With the fakes.
People do like weird stuff.
With people ordering them.
Galas, red carpet events.
As props and decorations.
Theater, home staging.
Tiffany Thompson brings new meaning to the phrase, fake it till you make it.
This is what gives me life. Like, this makes me feel alive.
Oh my goodness, that is incredible. And her food looks very realistic. That was Renee Knott reporting. All righty, let's take it down to Texas now, where a candle making hobby sparked a bit of a career switch for someone. Sean Giggy introduces us to one entrepreneur whose leap of faith changed her life forever.
Sitting behind a computer was never Carol Christoph's dream.
I was working for a group of pathologists doing medical billing.
So about 20 years ago, she considered her options.
Yeah, I was wanting to kind of switch. Let's move these down.
For Carol, the only thing that made sense was making sense.
I have a really good nose.
Carol always loved smells.
Yes.
So, in her free time, she started making candles and took them to businesses, craft fairs, and farmers markets.
We put a lot of pride in these candles.
Often burning the candle at both ends.
Very tiring, yes, very tiring, but also very satisfying.
Eventually, working tirelessly paid off.
Is there anything I can help with?
Today, Carol is surrounded by the sweet smell of success. Candles by Carol in Rockwall has glowing reviews.
And you do know to keep the wicks trimmed when you burn the candles, right?
Standing at a computer could never hold a candle to this.
I'm so happy. Yeah, so blessed.
25 years ago, she took a leap of faith.
Okay, it's 131.52.
And today, Carol Kristoff is proof for entrepreneurs everywhere that building a business starts with belief.
Yes, don't doubt yourself, absolutely.
Dreams come true when you follow your nose.
Thank y'all.
In Rockwall,
Have a good one.
I'm Sean Giggy.
Alrighty, buckle up for this one. Now to a job interview that is breaking free from traditions. I've been on quite a few in my lifetime, but none like this.
A horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses.
Of your 5 senses, which one would you get rid of to make the other 4 stronger?
All right, those aren't your typical interview questions. In Greensboro, North Carolina, a plumbing business thinks outside of the box when hiring for its apprenticeship program. The staff members say they are departing from the standard way of doing things to find the best candidate for the job.
The goal of the week is to really discover character. We can train all apprentices on skill. We cannot train people on character.
Right. Now, the plumbing business says it has a series of unconventional methods in the apprenticeship hiring process, which include a game of Jenga. All right, get to see how you do under stress, and even sumo suit relays. As unorthodox as it may sound, the company says this approach helps it identify individuals who possess the intrinsic qualities necessary for success in the trades. Okay, I think I could see it. You know, they got to know how they respond under all kinds of situations. All right, it's time for a quick break, but first, let's take a quick look at what's coming up, the Good Grades Exchange. Oh, I love these videos. We'll show you what one New York store owner is doing that is motivating his young customers to excel at school.
I work a corporate job at a tire shop. I absolutely hate this life.
We'll share the major change he made to turn it all around. Welcome back. Let's dive into what's trending on social media now. I love these videos every time they pop up on my social media feed. There's a store owner in New York City who is motivating kids to get good grades. Take a look.
I got my report card, man.
Madison!
It's better than ever.
Look at that. Well, Asui is the co-owner of Zach's Finest Deli and Grocery Store. It's in Staten Island. Now, he is known on TikTok for rewarding neighborhood students with good grades. In this clip, a high school junior boosted her 98 to a 100. So she just had to do a little bit of work there. He gave her $100 plus some snacks. Now, the store's co-owner says it's not about giving out freebies, but celebrating their achievements and showing them he cares about their hard work. Oh, I love that one. All right, baby fever has struck at a hospital in Wisconsin. Get this, 14 of the labor and delivery nurses are pregnant at the same time. Whew. Online, the facility shared photos. Wow, look at all those baby bumps of a handful of the expectant moms smiling and showing off their baby bumps. The director of the unit says the group includes several first-time moms, making this experience even more meaningful. Oh, how cute. Now, this next one, it's a catchy song with some catchy moves, and it seems like everyone knows the lyrics and the moves to Boots on the Ground. Even Atlanta PD used it to recruit more officers.
Oh, 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 I got my boots on the ground. Where the fans at?
Now, the creator of the dance is Trey Little. He says he couldn't have imagined how popular his choreography would become.
It makes me feel wonderful. It is for everybody to join in together. When we get together, it's no violence, no chaos. We're all just dancing and having a good time.
Many celebrities are jumping in line for the boots on the ground dance, including former First Lady Michelle Obama, Tina Knowles, and former Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, I'm not good at line dances. I do like the fan part. That's all I can do. I might be good for a little Cupid shuffle, a little two-step. That's all I got. I don't know about boots on the ground. Alrighty, now get this. As a Southerner, this one kind of interested me. That Southern twang you guys hear pop out every now and then, well, folks are saying it may soon disappear across the country. Get this. Linguistics experts say the accent changed due to migration patterns in the U.S. The Southern accent dropped off around the birth of Gen Z. That's between 1997 and 2012. And in the Great Migration period from 1910 to 1990, African Americans moved into northern cities. But now in what's being dubbed as the reverse Great Migration, African Americans are moving back to southern cities and they are bringing northern dialects with them. I don't know. I think the Southern twang's here to stay. That's a wrap on what's trending. Let's check out what you can expect straight ahead. Cupcakes that make an impact. We meet the baker behind these desserts that are doing more than just satisfying a sugar craving.
Hey everyone, we've got a woman back here that has a super tight connection and she needs to get across the terminal in the next, 20 minutes.
A stranger gave her the gift of time. Stick around to find out why she couldn't wait another second. Thank you for staying with us here on Featured. I'm Symphony Privet, and we are continuing to bring you some uplifting stories across the country. Customers at a grocery store in Virginia are praising an employee who goes beyond his job description. He is making a positive impact right from the bakery. Sean Martinelli shows us how he is adding a sprinkle of kindness to every order.
As far as we know, there are no giants inside this Vienna, Virginia giant. We did spot a dinosaur, a dragon, a unicorn, and a magician.
I mean, it's fun.
That's Adam Wald, who makes these mythical, colorful creations.
He really has magic hands.
If the line at the bakery stretched to the registers, customers like Lydia Russo would still wait.
I kept going to parties in town, and there would be these cute creations. Got my birthday cake, got my soccer party cake, got our reunion cake. Everyone was coming to him to get their cakes.
But what makes Adam stand out like a shark is this.
He makes a difference in the lives of others.
I'm Willy Wonka here. Instead of a chocolate factory, it's my cupcake factory.
Adam's pull-apart cupcake cakes are his specialty.
Some sprinkles.
Made even better by his personality.
He's the best person I know.
Annie Hensler manages the bakery.
It has gone way beyond cupcakes. It's gotten personal with our customers.
Hi, Adam.
Thank you so much. Good.
Recently, Lydia posted her appreciation on Facebook. Dear Giant Corporate, the entire town of Vienna would like to take a moment to recognize one of your exceptional team members. She went on to say, beyond his talent, Adam has become a friend to many, someone who's made a lasting impact. More than 12,000 people agreed. What was your reaction when you saw Lydia's post?
My jaw dropped, and it's all just humbling.
Humbling for the man who grew up with a learning disability, who used to shy away from strangers, whose life hasn't always been sweet.
He lost his dad at a young age.
Adam's mom, Lisa, says around that time her son started working for Giant.
If he got to see me now, where how far I've accomplished and all that, it just made him smile. He'd be proud.
Both of the baker and the person.
It's overwhelming to have everybody else say such wonderful, kind things about him. Yeah, there's really no words.
No words for his mother or his co-worker.
Yeah.
Or the man himself.
When I first started working here, I was really worried about customers because I didn't think I would be able to interact with them that well. Now I can't shut up.
Turns out there are no secret ingredients to this bakery magician's success. Just a heavy dose of creativity and a sprinkle of kindness.
When there's people like that, more than ever, they should be honored. He's not doing anything for spotlight. He's doing it out of the love of his heart.
And yet,
it's very fun to be recognized.
Call it the icing on his cupcakes.
Oh, that was Sean Martinelli reporting. Let's check out what's feeding the future. Did you know that crops don't need soil to grow? It's called hydroponics. And Matt Renew takes us over to Colorado, where a farmer is riding on a new wave of agriculture.
The mountains around Grand County might not be the best place to grow produce, but at the Drowsy Water Guest Ranch, farmer Ryan Fosha,
I'm a farmer in Colorado, in the mountains in the winter,
is growing leafy greens and vegetables 12 months a year using this storage container.
This is a 40-foot shipping container. It's 8 foot wide, 9 feet high.
Powered by solar panels, a computer, and a mixture of red and blue LED lights to grow lettuce, radishes, carrots, and other vegetables in vertical rows.
You can walk in between them easily. You can harvest
year-round, even when the snow keeps falling into May, going from seed to harvest in 7 weeks.
Sometimes even put out over 200 pounds of food a week.
With a product that people eat at his guest ranch and he sends to Grand County food banks.
You can grow lettuce outside for 2 to 3 months in Grand County up here in the mountains, but the combination of 8,000 feet, snowing temperatures, there's lots of covering and uncovering crops, greenhouses, and so we had struggled a long time to produce food for our dude ranch, for our guests. And so this was a way to open up the idea of producing vegetables year-round very easily.
That was Matt Renew reporting. Now, if you're interested in maybe growing something at home, hydroponic produce can be grown at home, in an apartment, a greenhouse, or even your office space. And it can conserve up to 90% less water than traditional farming. Pretty cool. Might give it a try. Already, a man from Oregon is no longer chasing his dreams. He is living it. All he had to do was quit his corporate job of 11 years and buy a boat. Sounds kind of scary, but Devin Haskins explains how he is now sailing away from all his problems.
My name is Oliver. I work a corporate job at a tire shop. I absolutely hate this life.
The journey to the ocean for Oliver Widger started months ago.
And I'm going to sail around the world for the rest of my life until I die. This is the start of my journey.
The Clackamas High grad chased his dream and bought a sailboat.
Let's add the oil.
He spent several months in Astoria fixing his boat up to get it ready for the journey of his lifetime.
Got to the coast and then it spent the 5 months not speaking to a single soul except for my cat.
His cat is Phoenix, a 7-year-old feline that he rescued from a dumpster, who's now his first mate.
I don't know. I think I love her more than I love any human, you know? She's my best friend. And this is day 1
on April 30th
of crossing the Pacific Ocean.
Oliver
and sailing from Oregon to Hawaii.
Just him, his cat Phoenix,
and there's the front of the boat and absolutely
in the open waters of the ocean.
Nothing. The only rules are what Mother Nature makes, and I like that.
This journey is not just about sailing.
And I keep doing my rounds and making sure everything's working, and it's working. But my God, we're having a great time.
It's about living the life that he wants to live.
Welcome to day 4.
And without the constraints of a corporate job.
I just reflected a lot on life, and I was like, well, I don't want to, this sucks. I don't want to do this and then have an impending doom looming over my head.
That impending doom, he mentions, a potentially paralyzing condition affecting his spine. 3 years ago, he was diagnosed with Klippel-Feil syndrome.
And so my cervical spine looks like somebody who's over 115 years old. All of my vertebrae there's no discs in between them, and they're all fused and deformed, and it's all just a big mess. Welcome to day 3, sailing alone across the Pacific Ocean.
He's documenting his trip on social media.
What happened was
the lows,
rudder quadrant,
like a rudder failure on day 6 that almost tipped his boat.
The boat was rocking, literally like this. It was the scariest moment of my entire life. I saw dolphins.
And the highs.
Which is amazing. Dolphin right there. Oh!
Oh my God! Oh! Since making the decision to quit his job and sail to Hawaii, look at him. He's amassed over 1 million followers across his social media channels.
So I went viral on literally day one of the passage. So it's just been I don't even know, man. And then I started, I was fighting for my life for like 5 days while going viral and stuff. So I haven't had time to like really process it. Because, I've just been so busy and just trying to figure things out.
And he has plenty of nautical miles to figure it all out.
Things are looking good.
While enjoying what lies ahead.
It's everything. It's every single emotion you could imagine on all ends of the spectrum. It's the most amazing, scary, beautiful, terrifying, all of it packed into one bundle. It's awesome. It's really cool.
So yeah, there's that for you guys. Thank you for watching.
Wow, that was Devin Haskins reporting. Now, before hitting the water, Oliver, get this, he had no prior open ocean experience. What? Yeah, it took him less than a year to learn using videos from YouTube and a neighbor. Wow, that's what I call determination. Way to go. A Fayetteville High School biology teacher is inspiring his students by bringing the wonders of the world into the classroom. Matthew Holden has traveled the globe, and as Jose Carranza shows us, he is gearing up for his next big adventure.
At Fayetteville High School, Matthew Holden's biology classroom is buzzing with curiosity. The 7-year veteran teacher keeps his lessons hands-on with labs, projects, and field trips.
I try to make my class as engaging, as hands-on as possible. We do a lot of labs, lots of projects and group work, and then we also try to get out in the community and do field trips and trail cleanups and really show them the relevance of what they're learning in their everyday lives.
But his passion for biology extends far beyond Arkansas. Through fellowships, Holden has explored Antarctica with National Geographic, studied sharks in the Bahamas, and researched microplastics with Earthwatch.
I've been fortunate enough to receive a few of those over the years.
He will once again set sail for science aboard the exploration vessel Nautilus, journeying through the Solomon and Marshall Islands. Holden will serve as a science communication fellow with the Ocean Exploration Trust, a nonprofit founded by Dr. Robert Ballard, who discovered the Titanic.
I believe it's a 68-meter vessel. I think there's about 50 crew aboard, including myself at any given time. It's a pretty busy schedule, so whenever we have ROVs doing dives and I'm narrating, kind of explaining what we're seeing.
Holden will explore underwater volcanoes and search for sunken ships, sharing discoveries through live broadcasts. He says these expeditions have taught him the value of global perspectives, connecting with educators of diverse fields like history and art.
We're able to kind of learn from each other and develop kind of this cross-curricula type lessons and interdisciplinary lessons, which is amazing.
Back in Fayetteville, Holden brings these experiences to his students, many of whom have never seen the ocean. His goal is to spark curiosity and a sense of global citizenship.
I want my students to understand that we're never too old to learn something new. We're never too old to try something new and learn from mistakes and take risks. I want them to be curious about the world around them, ask questions, seek answers, and ask for help if they need help.
That was Jose Carranza reporting. Alrighty, don't go too far. We are taking a quick break, but here's a look at what's coming up next. A mom turned author will tell you why she is writing down her experience to help other families. Plus, from the back of a plane to a race across the airport, how one small act of kindness helped make an important moment possible for one passenger. Welcome back. Now, one Texas community is showing what it means to support small businesses after a restaurant got stiffed on an order of more than 200 tacos. Oh my goodness. Now, instead of letting them go to waste, the owner made a decision, inspiring a wave of generosity. Maria Aguilera explains.
At El Rancho Grande Tex-Mex Grill, customers filled the tables.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
You too. Owner Dinora Guzman says it's been like that all day.
We were so busy. I mean, thank God we were so busy.
Guzman and her staff came in at 3:30 a.m. to prep several large orders. The biggest placed last week.
225 tacos, which is not anything out of the norm for us.
What is unusual, she says, is the customer never showed up. Her family called and texted, then realized their numbers were blocked.
Anything could have happened, but if she would have at least had the decency to pick up the phone.
The total loss?
$757.
To keep the 225 tacos from going to waste, Guzman posted on Facebook offering them for free. The community showed up. Some came to eat, others just to donate.
We had people coming in to buy salsa and giving us 10 times what it was worth,
And within a few hours, they made back what they lost.
You can't do that to people. You just can't.
This group of women come here often to support a family business that's been around 30 years.
It's not just coming to eat, it's socializing with your neighbors, with your friends, with them.
Oh, I love that, and I love some good tacos. That was Maria Aguilera reporting. Now, if you didn't know, the Denver International Airport it's pretty big. It's 53 square miles, in fact. Now, that means missing or making a flight can come down to a matter of minutes. Janelle Finch spoke with a passenger who would have missed a very important moment if it weren't for an act of kindness from a complete stranger.
Timing is everything. And on May 1st, passenger Haley Sandman,
Vern Sandman,
learned her grandfather Vern didn't have much time left.
He was in the hospital and it wasn't looking good.
Haley got on the next flight from Texas to Eastern Washington.
It was really important to me that he knew what he meant to me, and I could tell him I loved him.
The only obstacle in her way, 25 minutes to navigate Denver International Airport.
This already tight connection is even tighter because anybody that flies in and out of Denver knows even an hour layover is pushing it.
On top of the tight turn, she says she was seated in row 31 by the window.
Worst possible spot to be seated if you are trying to rush off of a plane.
She said the woman next to her saw she had started to panic. Haley shared her story, and the woman jumped into the aisle.
Hey everyone, we've got a woman back here that has a super tight connection and she needs to get across the terminal in the next, 20 minutes. Out of nowhere, it was just like the sea parted.
Haley says she made her flight, got to the hospital, and was able to be by her grandfather's side.
When I grabbed his hand, he opened his eyes and he said, "You made it."
She says Vern passed away the next day. Then it was time to track down her guardian angel.
This video is for the woman that was on United Flight 280 yesterday.
In my mind, I'm just like, if the roles were reversed and I had heard that from her, I would spend the rest of time wondering, did she make it?
She found the woman and so much more.
She is a hospice nurse. There's not anything that you can say that is enough for that scenario. And the blessing is the fact that because she is a hospice nurse, she understands without me even having to elaborate.
Though she didn't have much, time was on Haley's side in ways she can hardly put into words.
There's nothing I can do or say that will ever be enough gratitude for her giving me that time.
That was Janelle Finch reporting. Now, a NICU stay can be one of the most emotional journeys a parent ever faces, but one Texas mom turned that ordeal into something hopeful, not just for her daughter, but for families across the country. Ayana Aird shows us how a storybook about one tiny mouse is making a big difference.
Caitlin Lamott's daughter was born more than 8 weeks early. The NICU quickly became their world for a month, filled with fear, hope, and small victories.
That was the most overwhelming and emotional time of my entire life.
That experience led her to start journaling her emotions and her daughter's daily progress.
I just journaled and wrote down my thoughts and wrote down where she was, how many ounces she was drinking, what she was doing, did she have a setback, or was there another victory?
Those emotional reflections soon blossomed into the foundation of a story.
I knew that during our time in the NICU, you had so many people around you, but it still felt so lonely at times, like you were the only one dealing with all of those same emotions, which is not true.
Caitlin wanted to create something to help other parents feel seen and understood, like a sweet option that could shine a little light during such a heavy time.
And I went about it in the aspect of a children's book.
The book is called A Mouse in the NICU. It follows Max, a tiny mouse who watches over the babies in the neonatal intensive care unit. Through Max's eyes, readers experience the love, hope, and strength that fill the NICU following the journey of one special baby, inspired by Caitlin's daughter, Drew.
Initially, I just wanted it to be child-friendly for Drew, my daughter, to be able to understand it and know exactly what she went through. But as I continued writing, I realized it would be very helpful for older siblings to be able to read it and see that the wires and the monitors aren't scary. It's just, they're there to help their baby sister or brother grow and to make sure that they're safe.
And she also wanted to
shine some positivity and hope for the families who are dealing with much, much heavier emotions that I can't even imagine.
Caitlin also gave a copy of the book to the nurses at Longview Regional Medical Center who helped her every step of the way.
Because without them, I wouldn't have the book, I wouldn't have my baby. And I was so thankful for their help, for their assistance, and they were right next to me cheering me on.
And as a 5th grade teacher at White Oak Intermediate, she says her book has inspired her students too.
All wanted to write their own books. And so everything we've been doing in class, they take it, can I write a book? Can I write a book? Can I be a new author? And so it's very encouraging to know that something that I was so scared to put out into the world is very inspiring to all these little minds.
As someone who lived the NICU experience, her message to those families is
your emotions and just take it one day at a time and advocate where you can and ask for help when you need it.
That was Ayana Aird reporting. Coming up next on Featured.
Luckily, we was there in the right place, right time.
A group of prisoners answer a call for help. We'll tell you how their quick response gave a man a second chance at life. Alrighty, before we go, let's meet 5 inmates in Oregon who used what they learned in prison to help save a life. Joe Ranieri speaks to the group to find out what happened.
These 5 inmates at the South Fork prison camp still can't believe how they helped save a man who was hiking around the Henry Ryerson Spruce Run campground.
We was doing maintenance and we just so happened to finish early and take lunch, and someone needed help.
They had just taken a lunch break near Lost Lake in Clatsop County when someone ran to them saying their friend needed help.
Luckily, we was there in the right place, right time.
All 5 started running to help the hiker who was having a diabetic emergency.
And then we just, headed down the trail and we found this man laying there and he was having some sort of diabetic emergency.
These guys are no strangers to emergency response.
We do CPR training, so we're certified to do CPR and operate the AED.
While they serve their remaining sentence, they spend their time at South Fork Prison Camp working on everything from wildfire training to emergency response.
These guys, they know exactly what to do in these situations. We trained for it. They were ready. They had no hesitation. They knew what to grab.
While one grabbed a stretcher, another one grabbed the AED, while another got the radio.
He was extremely lethargic. He was unable to walk out of the trail on his own, having other issues, so we ended up having to pack him out.
The rescue only lasted about 20 minutes, but what these inmates are most thankful for?
We're not bad people, and just to get the opportunity to show that we're not, to show that we have good within us, it's amazing.
The opportunity to give someone else a second chance.
That was Joe Ranieri reporting. That's it for Featured. Until next time, make it a great one.